what you want me to do next. And I'm so honored that I feel like I get to be the first one to like preview your book that you're getting ready to come out with. It was so good. And there's quite a few things that I want to highlight in it. So we're going to jump right into your story. Yeah. So in the story, in your book, you said to your husband, if you could date anybody else here, who would you date?
Mm-hmm.
What made you ask that question in the first place? And how did his truthful answer to those questions make you feel?
So the backstory, I think, there's some backstory to that. We had gone out with friends. Prior to that, um, there had been I was working on my daughter's birthday party,
Mm-hmm.
and a picture popped up on my phone, a text.
Let me tell you about an app called Free Cash. Free Cash is the +1 app worldwide, allowing users like yourself to make money off their phone for free. If you want to make $200 plus a week for free, download using my link in the description or the QR code on the screen. If you download now for free using my link or QR code, you will get a free $5 into your account for free. That's $5 for free, no requirements. So download Free Cash today to make easy, quick, and free money.
And it was to me and my mom, and it was like him and a woman. And it said something about being together forever. Now, it was like a graphic, so it wasn't him and the woman in the photo together.
Okay.
But it was him and like at the top, and her in the graphic. And then it had like some jibber jabber with it. So it was a pocket text. So I'm looking at it, and of course it's not computing in my mind because I see my mom's
Number
on the text. Yeah. And so I'm like, what is my mom, what is this? Like, it didn't compute that until, I'm like, Keon, what is this? And then he has a look on his face, and then it finally starts to hit me that you're talking to somebody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we go into therapy. And I mean, there's more to that,
Yeah.
but we go into therapy. So we were working on our marriage at this point. So we're out with friends.
So this happens
Happens before.
And how long had y'all been married at that time?
We have been married 13 years.
Okay.
At that time.
So this time you go out with friends.
We're all out as a group.
Okay.
We're at this event. I don't know why I asked. I'd never done anything like that before. So we're...
Stop it. Look, fellas, if your girl ever asks you a question like that, it's simply because she sees a man in the room that she's attracted to. So she's like, you go first. Tell me, look around in the room. Who do you find attractive? And I'm going to tell you who I think attractive. It's like a it's like an underplay for the overplay type of thing.
We're at this event that people are dancing at, and it just struck me to ask him, hey, if you could date anybody in this room, who would you date? And his reaction, he was like, no, I'm not doing that, which is what most men would do. They're not going to do that and get in trouble. I was like, no, it's okay. For real, I'll pick somebody too. I don't know why, but yeah, that's really,
Shorty, stop lying, yo. You know why. It's the reason why you asked the question. Because you saw somebody who you will date. That's the motive. But now she's pretending like, I don't know why. It just happened.
and
was there a part of you that wanted to see what his type was?
Not really.
When I look back, because hindsight's 2020,
No.
I think my spirit knew because he was actively engaged. So, this happens the night before he goes to the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
So that was the timeline.
Okay.
We go out with friends. We're having a good time. I ask him about this situation,
Mm-hmm.
or I ask him about, who would you date in the room?
Mm-hmm.
And then that following Monday is when he sent me an email about him going on this trip. So
Your husband sends you an email and lets you know he's about to go on a trip.
yes,
Okay.
yes. And I
What?
think my spirit knew what was happening. I don't think I was consciously aware
Mhm.
because it baffles me as to why I asked that. Why did I do that?
But because you mentioned in there, he starts saying, like, oh, I might date her. But
Mhm.
then he proceeds and he's like, oh, maybe her too. Oh,
Right.
maybe not her because she's wearing a girdle,
Yeah,
which you had on at that
which
time.
I had on. So he didn't. So I do remember noticing a couple of things.
Yeah.
One, that he was pointing to people that did not look like me at all. And usually when men, they have a type, but these women were small, smaller than me. They just didn't look like me at all. So I
Mhm.
do remember thinking that. And then, yeah, when he pointed to the one female and says, oh, well, not her, because she probably has on one of those things.
You know what's crazy? Lady, you don't even look like you. If you're overweight, you don't look like yourself. So if he met you when you were in shape, what do you expect?
Things that your stomach pops out of, when you take it off. And I'm thinking, I got on one of them right now, so, but it still didn't. I was in a place of,
Insecurity.
I don't want to say denial, I will say survival at that time. And so, you explain away like, well, surely he's not talking about me because we're married, you know? So he's not, when he says that about her, he doesn't mean me, but he just saw me put this girdle on, this waist snatcher on. He just saw me do
Right.
this. And
Did
my
you
stomach
ever
pops out when I take it off.
did you ever confront him
About that?
about just in general? Like, I'm sure that there were more like red flags that came up.
No, because
No,
again,
exactly.
timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly. And look, fellas, y'all gotta be careful when it comes to women like this, right? Now, you gotta understand this is a woman who is dealing with a lot. She's insecure, she's probably miserable, and she's trying to find a reason to damn near leave her husband. It's like sometimes a woman will be fishing for a reason because pay attention, what is her motive? Her motive is simply she's trying to find a reason to start some shit, right? A lot of times, bro, when a woman is out of shape, she's not happy with herself. And when she's not happy with herself, she might be spiteful towards you just because. That's why me personally, fam, if a woman is not in shape, I'm good. Because if a woman don't love herself, bro, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got time to deal with no insecure woman because she's gonna make my life a living hell based on her own issues.
Saturday, we're out with friends. At the time, we had sold our house and we were living with my parents because we were going to build a house next door to them.
Wait,
Yeah,
whose idea was it to sell the house?
mine.
Okay,
So the real
but
estate
he went
market,
along with it.
he did.
Okay.
The real estate market was booming. It was like, hey, so we sold everything and we were going to stay with my parents temporarily while we built a house. Well, the real estate market that was so booming for us to sell in was not a great market to buy in. So
Mm-hmm.
we ended up staying with them a little bit longer than what was ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that that lended to some of what happened? Yes, it was a catalyst, but it was not the reason why we got a divorce.
Yeah.
It didn't help. It definitely helped expose some issues, but those issues we were going to get a divorce. I truly believe in my heart, regardless. So we could
Mm-hmm.
still be in our old house.
Exactly, bro. And this is what I'm saying. These women be planning their exit. And when a woman already planned her exit, bro, I'm telling you, bro, she's gonna make your life a living hell. She's gonna keep testing you. I'm telling you, bro, the signs are always there.
And we were going to have problems because that wasn't the root of our issues. But yes, we were living with my parents. So we would sometimes take a break because it was just a lot.
Y'all would take a break in your
We would
marriage.
not take a break in our marriage, but
Okay.
I might go stay, in a hotel just overnight just to kind of get it, because it was so many of us in the house. So just to kind of get away. And it wasn't to date anybody or have an affair. That wasn't part of it. He never did.
Mm-hmm.
But this particular
Time out, bro. And this is what I'm saying about a bird. A bird will say some dumb shit and expect you to believe her. The thing about a bird is this, bro. A bird thinks she could finesse everybody. A bird thinks she could fool anybody with the bullshit that she says. What type of woman will book a room just for her? And she got a whole husband who's living at her parents' house. But she's going to leave her husband and go book a room to spend the night by herself. But I'm not doing nothing. No, I'm not cheating. I just need my own little space right now. I just need some me time. Why you gotta spend the night though? You see what I'm saying? It's like a bird will say some shit like that and expect you to believe her. It's like, shorty, stop it. You was doing your thing. That's why her story is like, there's a bunch of missing parts in her story because it's not making sense. Whole time, Shorty probably was smashing a whole other dude, and then dude probably peeped and moved on. But when you listen to the story, it just sounds kind of crazy because she's asking her husband, so who in this room would you date? That's a woman who's already checked out. That's a woman who's already looking at other men. Look at the way she's thinking right now. But she wrote a whole book trying to put down her husband when the whole time already she been doing a whole bunch of bird shit. This is wild, bro.
weekend, he was like, "Hey, I need a man."
Mm-hmm.
But this particular weekend, he was like, "Hey, I need a man day or whatever. I'm going to go stay in a hotel." Well, I'm thinking, well, I've done it. So, okay, fine. You need a man day. So, are you coming back before the kids go to school Monday? Because again, Saturday, Sunday, he takes the man day. Are you coming back before the kids go to school, or are you, going to be back when they get home? He said, I'll be back when they get home. Well, he calls me Monday morning, like 6 in the morning. It's like, hey, did you get my email? And I said, no. He said, well, get the kids on the bus and then, read the email. And so I'm like, okay, well, of course, I went straight to read the email.
Absolutely. Like any woman would.
Right. So I'm like, let me read this email. And yep.
Okay, so
no more lies.
So And he named it No More Lies.
Yeah, that's what it was titled.
So in this email,
Yeah.
he is basically saying, like, I don't like this. I don't feel like doing that. I'm seeing somebody else.
He did not say he was seeing somebody
He
else.
never admitted to it.
I was intentional when I wrote this that I wanted it to be a testimony. I did not want it to be a salacious exposure of the father of my children. Because I think a lot of times when people are giving their testimony, they get caught up in giving so much of the information that's not necessary.
Right.
I don't want to malign my ex-husband's character. The point of me sharing the information is so that you can see where my head was, how things were kind of unfolding. So I do give an excerpt of the email. And basically it was all lies, but it was, he had framed a story that sounded good because he had started an online affair with this woman in the Dominican Republic who is now his wife. But he had started an affair with her and he wanted to go see her. So in his mind, it was like, hey, I'm going to go down here and see what this is about, and I'm going to come back home.
Oh,
that's really what he thought. So the email was framed like, I just need some time away. It's been a lot staying at the house. I was going to take somebody with me, but I decided not to, but it was all not true. The truth was he really had started this online affair, had emotions were involved, and he wanted to go see what it was. That was the truth.
So the minute he gets on the plane, he leaves. You read the email. Are you like blowing his phone up at this point?
I'm in shock.
Okay.
The best way to describe it is when you're young, so TVs don't do this anymore, but when I was growing up, like the TV would go shh.
Yeah.
That's how it felt. I couldn't feel anything. I couldn't cry. I couldn't do anything. I just felt like, is this for real? So, when I called him, I'm like, Keon, what is happening right now? Like, what are you doing? And he was in a denial himself of how crazy. So my ex is, he's a war veteran. And he's had dealt with depression and stuff. So I'm thinking he done finally snapped. At this time, I know nothing. So all I know is what I see in the email. So I don't think it's another woman. And I'm thinking that, he has just lost his mind.
Right.
Because who just books a trip behind your back, gets a passport behind your back, like all of this behind your back.
Yeah, this was months in the making.
Yeah, like you didn't, and of course all of that has not computed yet. I'm just like, he's calling me, my flight, I'm in, wherever in Florida, like giving me details. And I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, that's pretty much where I was.
Right.
And then in shock, not believing that this was happening.
Okay, but let me ask you, because you said even the original infidelity, he blamed it on depression.
Yes.
So looking back now, do you regret staying that first time? That's a wrap on More Than a Mother. I wanted to say,
now look, bro, we gotta hear his side of the story because this story sounds very frivolous. Okay, now here's my thing, right? She been booking rooms at hotels and spending the night a lot. And then all of a sudden he decided to do it. I think this is a man who had enough. See, the thing about a woman like this, the signs will always show. And when a woman is doing something behind your back as a man, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it, bro. And I think that man just had enough. That he walked away and he found happiness. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes that's what a man got to do. Like a man got to find peace. Now, how I know that she's a bird is pretty simple. Any woman who will take her relationship experience and try to sell that, put that in a book for the world, or get on a podcast and tell the world about her business like this, she doesn't value her relationships. Understand that. So now she's on a podcast trying to bash her ex-husband, but I'm pretty sure there's more to this story, man. And this right here is just sad because to me, I'm not believing this story. It just sounds like she was doing her thing and he got tired of the BS and he moved on because for some strange reason, she's not telling us the details of that email. Because think about this. If you've been married to a man for 13 years, why would he be emailing you? It just don't make sense. But let me know like what y'all thought about this. Please leave your thoughts in the comments. It's your boy AyeQ. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm out. This is what you imagine him in a hospital dealing with and the baby's coming out. Fellas, again, focus on yourself. That's what it is.